everyone, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to do a quick journal page using our Art Anthology products. I am going to get started by using a napkin as my background. So let me just find a page in my journal here that's blank. Okay, so that one will do. And I don't want that to get dirty, so I'm just gonna put something under it. And I'll also put another paper beneath it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is to just decide how much of this we're going to use. I have to say we'll cut it right along that line. If you don't have a scissors, you can easily just grab your paintbrush and water and just put some water right along here, and then it will tear quite easily. To separate it, you just pull that apart. There we go. And we'll put the rest aside and we'll get back our journal page. So to stick this down, you can use any decoupage medium or matte medium. I am using matte medium. Mod Podge works great. My only advice is that if you are using Mod Podge or any other decoupage medium, don't use the gloss version because it doesn't take other things well, like any pen marks or anything that you add to it after it's dry. The matte has a lot more grit and it sticks to it better. So once you have your matte medium on, just go ahead and glue down your napkin. We can tear off the excess after and then just go over it. I'm not worried about wrinkles, so I'm just going over it roughly. Of course, if you're doing decoupage, you would probably do this a lot neater, but I love the texture in my art journal. So I'm just going to go over it rough like that. Make sure you coat everything. And you can tear off the excess if you like. I'm not worried about that rip right there. Like I said, all of those little things give your piece a lot more character. Great, I think we have it well covered now. Just get up that little air bubble. And I'm loving the wrinkles. Alright, so let me just put my brush in some water here. Move that out the way. And I will give it a quick dry. Great. Now once this is dry, we're going to go ahead and add some stencil work to it. This is my beehive stencil, and I am going to add some stenciling just in random areas on the piece. So for that, I think I'm going to use my carnation, and it's Art Anthology's Sorbet Dimensional Medium. Dimensional mediums are great with stenciling because they're nice and thick, and like heavy-bodied paints, they maintain their strokes, or in a case of a stencil, it will show what's on the stencil very well. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag that down like that. I'm not worried about being super neat. I'm just adding it in areas. Go ahead and rinse. Take that off. You should wipe off your stencil immediately or put it in a bowl of water. It's good to have a bowl of water handy. I don't have one handy, but I do have a spray bottle here, so I'm just gonna give it a spray and a quick wipe. The best thing really is the bowl of water, and you just put it straight in there. And everything just dissolves and comes off. Alright, so I'm going to dry that now. Alright, that's not fully dry, but it's set enough. What I'm going to do now is add some white in areas. So this is just regular white acrylic paint, any type, any brand will do. And I'm just going to use my palette knife and just kind of just drag some on here and there. As you can see, that line is showing up. As you can see, the texture is showing up nicely, those lines. I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger and just get some going in there. Some of this isn't fully dry, but that's fine if it mixes a little. And then I'm going to use some of the flamingo. This is also a sorbet. And I'm just going to go ahead once again and just add some color right there on top of the white. If you find that you cover too much, you can just wipe it back off, which I probably will do with a wet wipe or like a damp cloth, because that's gotten nice and covered now. I'm actually liking it, but I will show you what I mean. If you just have a damp cloth, like this is the napkin I was using earlier, put a little water on it and say you wanted this part to wipe off, just go ahead and use that and it will bring back the area. Alright, that background is fantastic. I'm just going to give it another dry. Now that's dry, I am going to use another stencil by Art Anthology. This one is called Inspired Grunge. I want to use the word inspired right here. So I'm just going to stick that down. And I am going to use my paste, wax paste. This is bronze. And just a makeup sponge, stencil brush, or your finger, whichever you have on hand. And just go ahead and sponge that in. You don't need a lot. It's quite pigmented. And then you just carefully lift it off. and it's there. It's not as bright. So for the last stage, just go ahead and glue down your embellishments. And what I did here before my camera stopped working was I just went around the edges and added some highlights. The paste is very good at bringing out texture, so if you go over very lightly right there, for instance, where we had the wrinkles, it really shows them up. So and that's it. I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. Thank you and goodbye.